friends, Lynn's here from Lynn's Handmade Designs, popping in with a tutorial. Wait, I'm not going to do another video on the Brooke bifold. I've already done that, so what could this video possibly be about? Any guesses? How about now? A cash slip pocket! You guys have been asking, and I've been meaning to do this for a while. I thought this wallet was absolutely perfect for a beginner. At any point, you're only sewing through 2 layers max. So if you're brand new to vinyl cork or leather, this is kind of a great project to start with. But by adding a cash slip pocket, it does up the complexity a smidge. I wouldn't let that scare you. I am going to walk you through it, but it does take it from beginner friendly to intermediate. And mainly it's because of the order of the steps that you have to pay attention to in order to install the snap so it doesn't interfere with the ID pocket on the back. But other than that, I am thrilled with this little modification and addition. And I feel like hopefully you guys have had a chance to make plenty of these, that it's easy peasy now. Let's up the ante a little bit and learn a new skill. So join me today. I'm going to show you how to add a cash slip pocket to our adorable Brooke bifold wallet. Alrighty, let's talk about the 3 additional pieces we're going to need to add a cash slip pocket to our Brooke bifold wallet. This first piece is going to replace the main body interior. It will still include that zippered coin pocket, the 3 card slots, but now this gets folded over to create that cash slip pocket. And then these 2 pieces are for the lining of the slip pocket. This is just a piece of waterproof canvas. You can certainly use quilt cotton or anything you prefer. This is the only piece that does not need to be made out of vinyl cork or leather. And then we have this accent along the top. Unchanged is the exterior, so I've gone ahead and added the ID pocket as it is already written in the pattern. We're not making any changes to this exterior piece, so I've already gone ahead and done that, and I'll set that aside just to focus on these for this demonstration. Off camera, I did install the zipper here, and I added the card slot backing because it's done the exact same way as written in the pattern. Nothing has changed there, so to save time, I've done that off camera. The next step is you're going to fold over the top so it is wrong sides together, and you're going to line all of these edges and clip it in place. We're going to take it to the sewing machine and do a top stitch along the folded edge to separate the coin pocket from the card slots. We're going to do a row of stitching right down the center and back stitch well here. Because I am using leather, I do prefer to glue it, so I add a row of glue here, here, along the very outer edge here, and along the bottom there. I don't want any glue over our coin pocket because it will seal the pocket shut. We don't want this to glue here. You will not have a pocket. So just keep it on the perimeter and then up the center and give it a chance to dry. Again, that's completely optional because we are going to stitch it in place. It will be sufficient, but this is my preference using leather. I'm just going to pull this rubber mat here to protect my work surface. I have this Eco Weld, which is my preference for leather adhesive. It's a water-based contacted adhesive that I get from Tandy Leather. It does the job so well, and it does not have an obnoxious smell to it, so I don't need to ventilate my room. And this is just a wool dauber. I also got that from Tandy Leather. As I mentioned, I'm just going to put a light layer along this top where it's going to be folded. Go up the center here, outer edge, really just not on the card slots, but we can do this whole outer section here. Just going to kind of do a light little dabbing along the bottom. Again, I'm staying really close to the edge on this side because this is my pocket and I don't want to seal my pocket. So coming across the bottom here. As you can see, it is already starting to dry, and I need to give my project a little chance to dry for it to be tacky. Otherwise, it doesn't seal as well. So just gonna let that sit for a bit and then I will fold it. You can see there's not a whole lot of white patches, so now it is pretty tacky. That's when you want to fold it over for this type of glue. Go ahead and line up that bottom edge. And you can see how it holds really well once it's nice and tacky. And let's do our top stitch. Here we are with the top stitching along the top and the divided center stitch, and you can see that it's all secure with the glue and it's now operating as one. That is why I prefer to glue it, but again, some vinyls are really difficult to actually get to stick and quite time consuming actually to wait for it to dry. So the stitch across the top and down the middle will be sufficient again. So set that aside and go ahead and grab the lining portion and then the accent for the top. And you're going to need a ruler for this next step. 1/2 inch from this top edge, go ahead and draw a line across your material. I'm not using a removable pen. I'm hoping it'll show up on camera this way, but I'm going to cover the line with the accent. So hopefully you can see that line. And then I just like to add some double-sided tape just a smidge above it because so I don't have to stitch through it. But I'm going to attach my accent to this area. So you will notice this accent is a smidge longer than the lining piece. And I did that mainly so that the fabric portion does not pop out of the edges of our wallet, so that we can edge coat it cleanly and we don't have little fibers sticking out. So it's just a smidge narrower going along this bottom and this side. So now we're going to sew this onto the liner piece 1/8 inch from the edge right along this line. I sewed across the top, attaching these two together. So we're going to set that aside and we're going to go ahead and grab our main body exterior again. Orient it correctly so that when it is folded in half, this is the front, this is the back, and we're going to mark along the center of the bottom here 1 inch. So 1/2 inch this way, 1/2 inch this way, and do a faux row of stitching right here because we are going to top stitch in the end, but we won't be able to top stitch right here when we sew the whole wallet together. So we want to just proactively add that row of stitching so it looks like one continuous top stitch and not just a start and stop awkward area along the bottom here. As you can see, I did just a row of stitching right here. I did leave my thread tails long so I can give it a gentle tug and pull those thread tails to the back side and not off. I mentioned we wanted to do look like it's a continuous top stitch at the end, so if we do harsh back stitches at the beginning and the end, it doesn't look like a continuous. It kind of draws your eye to these stitches. So I'm just going to knot them off. Trim them, and then I'm just gonna seal it with my lighter. So here we are. I'm using pink thread on pink, which is probably a terrible idea for a video. I am so sorry. So far it's been pretty straightforward, uncomplicated. This next step, the order of the steps is important, so stick with me and make sure you stay oriented. So this is our exterior main body. I've got the card slot to the left so that when you fold it, it is on the back side. So I'm going to go ahead and put it wrong side, face up. I'm going to take the lining and put it on top, lining up these top edges so that they are perfectly aligned, and I'm just going to clip them in place. Here you can see better how it's cut narrower so that it's not going to pop out of the edge, just like that. Now take the interior portion we've already completed, and we're worried only about the right hand side. Ignore the left hand for now. Go ahead and line up the bottom corner. And clip the layers in place. And the side here. And now we need to mark the snap placement. So take your ruler and measure down 5/8 inches and in 5/8 inches and place a marking right there. I'm going to do the same thing with the bottom. Up 5/8 and in 5/8 and put your mark right there. Okay. Now this next part is really important. We're going to go ahead and unclip this. We're going to punch a hole through just this piece right here. Then up here, we're gonna grab the same piece, but we also need to go through this piece as well. So I'm grabbing them as one. We're not cutting a hole through our exterior. Okay. So now take the long post of the male portion of your snap and put it through the back. And then go ahead, set both of those snaps. Just set my snaps. It's not going through the exterior piece at all, so you should have no holes punched through that. So now we can, it is attached, so it's a little confusing now because it's attached like this, but we need to glue this piece down to the main body exterior. So you can use spray adhesive here if you want. If your materials do not glue well, that's fine. I just want a nice seal along this top edge where my two vinyl cork and leather meet, so that when I edge paint later, it has a nice seal along that top edge. Now, it's probably not even necessary to put glue on the back side of this, but I am. It's just kind of how I do it. Like I said, you could do spray adhesive to hold it if you prefer. Give it a chance to dry, get tacky a little bit, and then we'll lay them wrong sides together. Giving it a chance to get tacky. Line up those top edges perfectly even. And again, it's awkward because this is attached by the snap, but it's not ready to be fully attached yet. So just move it out of the way and focus on this top and pushing the lining in place. Okay, so truly the hardest part is now over. We're gonna go ahead and line up those edges and clip in place. We're gonna go just as far as this notch cut out. Clip in place. Then we're gonna line up this left-hand edge. You'll notice it is shorter, so we have to kind of fold this up to meet it. All right, so you see how we come along this gap here? We're gonna keep clipping just to the notch, and there's a little bowing here. That is expected. So this is all sealed, but that will give you the space needed to close your wallet and allow this to sit flush inside. So continue clipping around the perimeter and then we sew. I personally find it easiest to top stitch from the inside versus the exterior because I've got snaps here and then there's this pocket to watch out for. So before you do actually start stitching, if you're going to sew from the inside, just double check all your layers that the edges are aligned and not, you know, falling short, because you don't want to not catch it in your seam. Starting along the bottom edge at the front part of this notch, we're going to sew from the interior. I do tend to leave my thread tails long so I can knot them off. I'm also looking to line it up with my previous faux stitching. You're going to sew an 1/8 inch to a 1/4 inch from the edge. The closer you are to the edge, the more likely you are to catch all layers and you fall off the edge. So give yourself some leeway and go closer to the 1/4 inch versus a scant 1/8. part's a little tricky because it's pretty close to my foot, but I need to pull that out of the way so I can stay on the edge here. Leave your thread tails long, pull them to the inside and knot them off. Here we go. This is the front. This is the back. So now I'm going to go ahead and look to see if I can trim up any areas. I could see this is overhang there. If that's going to interfere with my edge painting. So I'm just going to take a straight edge ruler and trim that up so all the edges are flush. I have trimmed up my edges so they're as flush as possible. And last step is go ahead and fold it perfectly in half, lining up that corner and that corner, and then press really, really hard into those snaps. And then you'll be left with this impression here so you can put your female portion of your snaps in. So you got the cap portion. You should have two of those, and then the female portion. The female portion is going on the inside. The cap side is going on the exterior. So push that through. And then this confuses people a lot. This is the right side. This is the wrong side. People tend to put the wrong side where it's face up. This needs to go face down on that little post. Just like that, and set it. Repeat with the second one. Make sure the correct side is face up, and set it. There you go. Now I opted to edge paint mine, but if you choose not to edge paint them, you may want to add a clear drying glue around the edge to prevent unwanted fraying of your vinyl over time. Leather, you shouldn't have any fraying, but for vinyl you have typically a fabric backing that can kind of start poking out over time, and to avoid that we just do that clear drying glue, or in my case, the edge paint. Now you just add any fun hardware you want, or you call it a day. I'm going to go ahead and add a baby D-ring up here just as the pattern is written so that it's done. Eek. I love it so much. Cards, coins, and cash. I cannot wait to see yours.